Howdy folks, Anthony here from Drury Tyres. What I've got here is two little inflation devices. The Hurricane 12 volt tyre inflator, 50 litres per airflow rate per minute at 150 psi maximum pressure. Now I bought two because I needed to and I couldn't decide which one was the best, so I thought, why don't I do a test on these two here. This one's called an Air Compressor 12 volt at 40 litres per minute at 1034 kPa at 150 psi. So they both come with little extras like these needles and whatnot. They both come with that. Both very similar. The only difference being is this one here claims it has a 12-month warranty, and that is the 12 volt Hurricane tyre inflator. I don't know why one's called a tyre inflator and the other one's called an air compressor. They both do the same job, just the rewording I suppose. But the difference being this one here, the yellow one, is 30% more expensive. So I just wanted to do a test to see whether it's worth the extra 30% over and above the Maxi Trac one, which is like 30% cheaper. So this Maxi Trac, yeah, it actually appears to look a little bit cheaper too. It doesn't seem to be as well made. This one's got a stronger looking handle. The gauge appears to be better. The reason why I bought these compressors is we sell at Drury Tyres these little compressors to go with the people who own like the BMWs over there. You can see in the corner they come out factory with non-run flat tyres. The problem with the non-run flat tyres is they are very hard because they're a solid tyre, and when you're driving along the road it just jars along like you're driving on a bit of concrete, and there's a lot of droning. So if you take the non-run flats off, stick a little compressor in the back and put just a normal pneumatic 2-ply tyres on, you just get a lot softer ride. No matter what brand of tyre you stick on, you're going to get a lot softer. So I'm going to do a test on these two. I'm going to see how fast they pump up, see how easy they are to use, just to generally try and find out which is the better one. So I'll do that for you in a few minutes. Okay, first up we've got the Hurricane here, 12 volt. I'll just put this on just to test the pressure, and if you have a look at the gauge there, it says that there is just a little bit under 25 psi, which is a bit of a worry because I know that's not right. So it's saying that there is 22, 23 psi, and when I put this cheaper version on, it said that there was 38. So I know that is to be accurate. I'm just going to double check that now. Okay, I've just double checked it, and this is a lot more accurate gauge. This is a third gauge that I've got. So the Hurricane said about 23, this accurate gauge is saying 38, and that cheaper Maxi also said 38. So the Maxi Trac has got a more reliable gauge. So just in case you wanted to see it for yourself, there it is connected up to the Maxi Trac, which is 30% cheaper, and yeah, that's sitting around 38-40 psi, which is the same as the other reliable gauge that I had. Okay, so now we've got this Hurricane 12 volt tyre inflator, 150 litres per flow every minute. So let's just see if it does it. Got it connected up, and I'll turn it on and see how long this is going to take. So we've got ourselves a deep flat tyre here. So I'm just going to be curious to see how long it takes to get up to the correct pressure. As I've already pointed out, the gauge on this one seems to be inaccurate. We were saying 23 when it was actually sitting around 38-40 psi. So far the gauge hasn't moved. For the sake of time, I'll remove the valve. So by removing the valve, it's going to allow the airflow to get in there a lot quicker. But as I mentioned, the more expensive one is not always the better device. This is 30% better than the little Maxi Trac down here, the little air compressor. So it'd be interesting to see how this one goes. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll just let it go for another, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, and then just see how we're looking. It is slowly going up, as you can see. Which is not too noisy, which is always a benefit. You don't want to annoy the neighbours. Definitely going up. Not sure why the gauge isn't moving though. That's a bit of a concern. I think I've just got a faulty gauge here. Slowly going up. What I'll do is I will turn that off now, check how long I filmed for, so I know how long it was timed, and compare it to the other Maxi Trac. So I'll turn that off right now. Okay, now it's the Maxi Trac's turn, the 12 volt air compressor. Yeah, after 2 minutes 23, with the other compressor, the Hurricane, 2 minutes 23 of pumping, it got up to 20 psi, although the gauge said 10. So let's see how this Maxi Trac goes. This cheaper version, which I said before is 30% cheaper than the other one. So once again, relatively quiet. Like I said, the reason for the little air compressors is these BMWs and a lot of the European cars come out with run flat tyres. The problem with the run flat tyres is they're hard and they drone, they feel every bump, and you can get a beautiful car like this, and guess what? After driving along the road and you hit those little bumps, you think, man, what a shame it ain't smoother and quieter. And by just taking off the hard run flat tyres and putting on a normal 2-ply tyre like these Hancocks that are on this car, will just totally transform the car. In actual fact, you could put the cheapest, nastiest Chinese tyre on any European car, take off the run flats and put those cheap nasty tyres on, and it's going to drive nicer. Why? Because when you've got the hard run flat tyres, you're actually driving along on a brick. And I don't know about you, but when I go to bed at night, I don't want to go to bed on a brick. I want to go to bed on a cushion, on a soft pillow. So what I've got on this BMW now is nice soft pillows. The problem is, of course, if you get a puncture, you're going to be in a little bit of strife. So therefore, we say forget about that. Don't get too worried about it. Buy a puncture repair kit. Get a little air compressor like this that's been going for 2 minutes now. Be interesting to see where it is at 2 minutes 23. I'll turn it off at 2 minutes 23 and just compare to see if it's more than 20 psi. The one thing about this gauge is it is accurate. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So we're coming up to 2 minutes 23. I'll turn it off. 1, 2. Now, so let's see where this is sitting at 2 minutes 23. The other one was at 20 psi. This here is sitting at 27 psi. So it's actually better. So you can see the gauge there, sorry, 27 psi. So that is really, really good. So in my opinion, why spend more money on the more expensive air compressor when you can get this cheaper one that's got a more accurate gauge? I've proven that because I've got another accurate gauge and compared it. And yeah, it pumps up faster. A lot better deal. So yeah, so in my opinion, go for the Maxi Trac. The evidence is in this video. Can't complain. Like I said, get those horrible run flat tyres off your cars, guys, and put non-run flats on and buy a compressor kit. Sweet as.